So I'm here with Travis Femister, a civil engineer, and I just want to ask you a few questions about your job and what you do. Uh, well, what do you civil engineering? What do you specialize in?
I specialize in transportation design, specifically streets and highways. Anything from two-lane blacktop FM roads that are being converted to six-lane divided urban streets like out here on 380 that you would see, to doing major freeways where we reconstruct them to add lanes, new interchanges, bridges, that kind of stuff.
Can you describe a kind of regular workday for you?
Well, I show up in the morning, get a cup of coffee,
You need the coffee.
check my email, and basically my day mostly at this point, I'm a 6-year engineer, going on 7 years. I have my license, I'm a PE, got it a year and a half, 2 years ago. And my day mostly consists of doing coordination with sub-consultants to ensure that our deliverables are being met. We're a prime consultant, so we win work and we quarterback that work. We do a portion of it ourselves, like the main geometrics, horizontal, vertical geometry, that kind of stuff. And then we hire other companies to do the pieces of the work we don't do, like environmental, geotechnical work, pavement design, structural design. And I coordinate with those people fairly regularly, as well as lead a team of EITs, younger engineers, and to make sure our projects get completed on time.
So speaking of projects, what are you working on right now?
Specifically right now, I am working on FM 2478, also called Custer Road. It's out west of here. And we are currently doing the design for the north portion of Custer, which runs from US 380 to FM 1461, which is the two-lane blacktop portion that's going to be rebuilt to look like the section south of 380 that was built in the last few years. You probably saw it being under construction. It was under construction for 3 or 4 years.
That's actually where I live.
There you go.
In South Custer, so.
Specifically, I'm working on that.
So, what's the biggest project you've ever worked on, do you think? Like maybe the longest road or something?
So that's kind of a loaded question, because you can have projects that are long in length, like miles, and you can have projects that are short and have a high construction cost, which is considered a big project. So
which one do you think took the most time?
Let's see. Let's say the most man hours, because engineers do stuff in short schedules sometimes, and you'll have a lot of people do a lot of work in a short period of time. I would say one of 2 projects, both of them were on I-35. One of them was in north of the Austin, Georgetown area, actually in Belton, between Salado and Temple, which is a 7-mile stretch. The construction cost was about $107 million, and I honestly don't know how many man hours we had in it, but it's a lot. It's thousands of man hours that were in that, and that was a big job. Another one, the I-35W north of 820, a little bit south of the Texas Motor Speedway racetrack. That's all under construction right now. We were the prime consultant who designed that, and that was a shorter job, but had a higher construction cost. It was like $130 or $50 million, but it's a job that's being reconstructed to be similar to how 635 is right now, which is a whole lot compressed into a short period in terms of length of road, but there's a lot of elements.
So, about civil engineering, what do you like the most about it? What made you kind of lean towards it, I guess?
I chose civil engineering because my father-in-law is a civil engineer, and I was in college for a political science major, and realized that if I wanted to achieve certain things in life, that probably wasn't going to get me in there. So my father-in-law was very successful as an engineer, and it seemed like a good way to be able to make a good living. So I chose to do it specifically for that reason.
So what's the employment outlook in civil engineering?
For people wanting to become civil engineers, right now it's good. But it comes and goes in waves, because a lot of our work is taxpayer funded. So if the cities have lots of money and to spend on infrastructure, that's good. If TxDOT or the state of Texas has lots of money to spend on infrastructure, that's good. But when we're in times where the economy is down and times are tough and there's not a lot of money out there, and the state doesn't have the extra funds to spend on infrastructure, then it causes our industry to dip, and it will cycle. Right now it's really, really strong, and there's a big push to spend a lot of money building roads. But 5 years from now, it could be like it was about 6 years ago when I graduated from college. There was no work, and I got lucky. I got hired on a job that was stimulus funded. Otherwise, there was no other work going on. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Dallas this McKinney area, is it pretty good for?
I think so. This is a really strong engineering market here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of top national firms that have offices here that
Mhm.
are big places to work.
Yeah. So, I know you told me that you were leaning towards political science at first, but going off engineering, are there any other like types of engineering that you probably would like to experience or something? Or was civil like?
You know, I chose civil made the most sense to me.
Mhm.
You know, electrical engineers don't get licensed mostly. They work for companies like TI and Raytheon,
Yeah.
who only a couple people get licensed there. As a civil engineer, if you don't get licensed, you're pretty much not very valuable in your career
Yeah.
field. Your earning potential is very limited. You're basically a CAD technician if you don't get licensed. So those other areas of engineering, although fascinating, I find electronics very fascinating. I think mechanical engineering is cool. Aerospace is really great. I like, airplanes, and think the dynamics of that stuff is just really cool. But, aerospace and that type of engineering is all based on defense spending. And as you know, with political cycles, defense spending goes way up, defense spending goes way down, and it's a very dynamic market that can leave you without a job or going from job to job every few years. And my goal is to get in a field that I could work as a full career in the same place if I so desired.
So, what kind of ending this interview? What kind of advice would you give someone who wants to pursue a career in civil engineering?
Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
That's probably a good one. I feel that goes for any career, honestly.
If you want to pursue a career in civil engineering for real, I would go to a good college that has a strong engineering program. In Texas, there's like 5, and they're your major universities: UT, A&M, Texas Tech. They have very strong engineering programs. UTA's up and coming, and then there's other schools in the UT system that have very strong engineering programs. And I would do that, and I would make every effort to get an internship with an engineering firm while you're in school. Because as someone who interviews and hires college graduates, that's one thing we look for. Is it's easier to filter them out when I've got 100 applications to look through, to narrow down the ones that have decent GPAs and internships in areas that are relevant. Like working at the supermarket doesn't do you much good, but getting an internship with TxDOT, the highway department, like you're almost guaranteed to get a job when you graduate, whether it's with TxDOT or with another firm, or finding internships with other firms. People think you can't get them because you don't have any information or training or knowledge. That's not true. They hire people because that's how they get stuff done during the summer for cheap, is they hire interns, and oftentimes that can lead to really good careers.
Well, I think I'm good here.
Cool.
I want to thank you.
My pleasure. Glad to help out.